on this channel, I feel like I've been able to gather a ton of Saints Row fans, and the Saints Row community we've kind of gathered here, and I've seen so many different ideas for Saints Row 5, and the general consensus is that Volition cannot drop the ball on this one, and they have no excuse if they do, because the fans are vocal, we're passionate. Like, if Volition just listens to us, they can make a game that is not only good, but a great game that sells incredibly well. Not only does Volition need to do a bunch of new things to innovate the open world genre and make a game that includes a bunch of fresh new stuff, there's also a lot of things from the old Saints Row games that Volition can learn to do better in the future. First off, let's get a boring one right out of the way. Volition, fix the frame rate issues. Every single Saints Row game I've played has had some sort of frame rate issue. And I'm playing on, PS4 Pro for even Saints Row the 3rd Remastered, which I get at Sparasoft. But still, Saints Row 2, Saints Row the 3rd, the original one, Saints Row 4, every single game I played, even the original Saints Row 1, that was the worst. So, Volition, fix the frame rate issues for these games, and while you're at it, try to minimize the amount of bugs you got in there, because I get it, every game's gonna have some bugs, but the Saints Row games are infamous, notorious for the amount of weird ass bugs that are in the games, even to this day, that they haven't fixed, even though the games are like 10, 15 years old, some of them. So yeah, you gotta fix this type of stuff and make sure it's not in the game, because it really does not look good on you. Something else I want them to bring back from Saints Row 2 is to be able to pick between gang missions. In Saints Row the 3rd, it was very linear. You play it one mission at a time like you do in most open world games, but Saints Row 2 was awesome because you could choose if you wanted to do a Ronin mission or a Sons of Sondi mission, or a Brotherhood mission. So you could choose which storyline you wanted to follow. And you know what, sometimes you kind of want to switch it up a bit. If you've only been doing Ronin missions, you know what, let's go check on the Sons of Somdi and Mr. Sunshine for a bit. So that is really cool that they did that, and they need to bring that back because it brings in some variety and just switches things up and gives the player more choice, which is something I've seen you guys want in my comment sections. You guys want as much player choice as you can get, which makes sense. So this is one thing that I really do think they should bring back for Saints Row 5. Along that line, a little more controversial one, because some of you guys don't like having to earn respect to play missions, because that's what, if you only played the 3rd game and 4, then you don't know what I'm talking about. But in Saints Row 2, you had to earn respect in order to play the mission. So you couldn't play your missions without having earned a number of respect gained through like activities and doing a bunch of stuff in free roam. I like that. So you know what, I think you should have the option to turn it off, because a lot of people, I get it, you want to play the story and you just want to go through the story. You don't want to have to stop and go do some Septic Avenger or Fight Club for 20 minutes to be able to play your next mission. But I like having to earn my mission, so I don't just burn through the story in one shot. I actually have to earn the ability to play my missions. I like having to do that. So have it on for us who like to do that, but have the option to turn it off for the people who just want to grind right through the story. Next up, bring back some bomb-ass music. Every single Saints Row game has had amazing music, even Saints Row 4. So you know what, I want the 420 FM, I want the mix, but maybe the mix should just stick to 80s music, because that's when it was at its best, if you ask me. I want K-Rhyme back, I want these classic stations, and I want some awesome music, which, you know what, Saints Row never disappoints with this stuff. But something from Saints Row 4 that I did like was the on-foot radio. Maybe we could have headphones or AirPods or something if it's modern, so that you can listen to the radio even when you're running. Because to me, I would love to be able to listen to 80s music or some awesome rap while I'm shooting rocket launchers at helicopters on foot and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So on foot radio, maybe through headphones, and bring it back with some awesome bomb ass music. I got faith in you, Volition. You've never disappointed me on this one. Next up, multiplayer, and notably protect the pimp. Okay, you know what, when I made my multiplayer video, I was on the fence about it. I was cool with just co-op, But after hearing what you guys had to say, somebody brought up an awesome jailbreak mode that I think would be so sick in multiplayer. So bringing back multiplayer with some cool game modes. Maybe don't go the GTA Online route, but go with some really cool fun game modes that we could play. I'd be down, man. And bring back the classics like Protect the Pimp and stuff like that, Gangsta Brawl. I love stuff like that. Insurance fraud, you could do that stuff in multiplayer. We could have a great time doing that stuff. So even though they took that out in the last 2 games, I really do think they could learn from SR1 and 2 and bring back those multiplayer servers with awesome game modes, because it would add extra longevity to the game, because more people would be playing Saints Row for longer. And who knows, maybe you get a competitive scene out of it. So I would say bring back multiplayer with some cool game modes and the classics. Look, while Saints Row the 3rd and Saints Row 4, they get old pretty quick, it's clear that the fun factor is still great. They're fun games to play. Even if you like the old school, you know what? 3 and 4 are fun games to play. The problem is that it gets old super quick. But when you got a Stillwater like Saints Row 2, that don't get old, because there's so much different stuff to do for so long that you can have so much more fun with it. But the fun factor in 3 and 4 is still there. It's great. So maybe find an outlet for some new school fans to go have some lighter, fun gameplay. So like I've said in multiple videos, maybe Saints Flow, maybe an arcade game or something, you know, some kind of escape for those new school fans, but don't make it the focus of the game. Saints Row the 3rd and 4, it was the focus of the game, right? It's time for them to give the old school fans their time in the spotlight. So make that the focus of the game, but also make it an outlet. So through Saints Flow, arcade, maybe you take some drugs and you hallucinate, something like that. Small one here for my personal pleasure, but one of my favorite things to do in Saints Row 2 is just to pick random shit up like fire hydrants and televisions and cash registers and all this different stuff and throw it at people and beat people up with it. That is hands down one of the most fun things to do in Saints Row 2. And I was devastated to not have that in Saints Row the 3rd. So please bring that back. I would love to be able to do that again. It's a really small thing, but honestly, man, it adds hours of gameplay. Just like how grabbing somebody and being able to like throw them, that also adds hours of gameplay. So, you know, small things like that that really change the game and make them way more fun. Lastly, the fun activities. Look, if you're going to force us to do activities, they better be fun. I would say scrap Guardian Angel, scrap Heli Assault, even drug trafficking, man. I'm not really a big fan of that. Let me know what you guys think of that, but keep the really fun ones like Septic Avenger, Fight Club, Crowd Control, even Genki's pretty fun, man. Because if we're going to be forced to do it to like earn respect or even for money and other stuff like that, then make sure they're fun. And I really don't see why you can't make every single activity super fun and creative. And you know what? If the people at Volition are creative enough to give us a game mode like Crowd Control, then they can make some new stuff that is just as fun and innovative that we'll spend hours doing. I love doing Fight Club and Septic and Crowd Control. I could do them for hours on end. So I got faith in you, Volition. Keep the fun activities and make some more that are fun. Alright guys, that's all for me today. Let me know down below what you think Saints Row 5 can learn from the older Saints Rows. This was basically kind of my wish list for Saints Row 5 in a way, so let me know what you guys think they should learn from not only just Saints Row 2, which is pretty much the best one, but also the 3rd and even 4 and the original. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear it. If it's your first time, hit that like button for more Saints Row content and subscribe, hit that notification bell. See you guys next time.